Greetings friends and welcome to the Super Kick Ability Guide. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to set up your objects that you're going to be blasting away with your awesome Super Kick. So you might as well just get a nice block, make sure that its physical properties are set to movable, make sure this is highlighted, and that its label is object, or whatever you want it to be, so long as it's consistent. Then we're going to throw down a nice blank puppet. We can stick with a basic one, that's perfectly fine. Then let's go straight into our puppet. And it's a pretty straightforward process, adding the super kick. It's quite similar to a punch or a force push. I haven't actually done the punch video, but expect that soon. And one thing you'll want to do to make it a little bit more spicy, a little bit more interesting, is to actually add a timeline. Okay? So let's go ahead and name this microchip, just for the sake of consistency. So we're going to call this one Super Kick. Hooray. Now let's go into our timeline. Let's scope into it. We can narrow it to about, let's say, 2 seconds, if we'll even need that. But yeah, so we're going to start with a nice keyframe, and we'll just stop recording straight away because this is just like a default keyframe of your regular stance or regular posture. Then for this one, we're going to animate the kick itself. So let's scope into our puppet, and we're going to move them around, get a nice kick position. So we'll do some of that, get the leg out, twist the hip a little bit, turn the foot. There's tons of inspiration you can find for this. You can look up stuff about Bruce Lee or Chuck Norris and look at their like kicking poses and then find whatever works for you, because they've all got some pretty cool stuff. Chun-Li, you know, whatever works, whatever is your passion. Alrighty, that's pretty cool. So we've got our nice kicking animation, and then we're going to copy our original animation, which is just the stance, and we're going to put it over here. Then we're going to press L1 and X to change the blend, and then if we go back here, we're going to see they do a kick and they go back, which is pretty nice, eh? There we go, kick and back. Perfect. Then we'll shorten this timeline so that the timeline ends where the last keyframe is. You want to make sure you do that, otherwise you're going to do your keyframe, or you're going to do your animation rather, and then they're kind of just going to be chilling and you won't be able to do anything for a while, which is a bit annoying. You're going to put the playback mode on once so that when you push the button, they're going to do the kick. But wait, we've got a cool animation, but there's no awesome super kick force. And we're going to get that awesome super kick force by going to movers and outputs, and we're going to go to a force applier. Now, you can put force appliers on a timeline. You can put pretty much anything on a timeline. So you can go ahead and, whoops, let me just, it's a little bit tricky to, I'm nailing this right now. Adjust end, sorry. That was a bit of a fail by me. But here you go. That's about it. Now let's adjust this force applier. So we don't really want a bubble. We want more of a sort of, and it's going to get a bit funky here. We want more of a sort of cone shape, but not a regular sort of cone shape. So let's just quickly adjust this so that it's in line with our person and where they're going to be kicking. But let's make it a bit funky. We don't just want to make it like a cone. We want to make it kind of like a thin one, you know. So it's like it kind of very roughly mimics the shape of the foot, because you're doing sort of like a side kick, you know what I mean? And we'll add a nice little zone fall off so that there's an area where the kick's a little bit weaker but still has an effect, so that you get this real sense of the power of the kick. Alrighty. And speaking of the power of the kick, let's add the force strength and make it 100%. And let's make it something like 10 meters per second. You can really go wild on this. You can make it 20 meters per second, whatever is your fancy. Yeah, we're going to leave it on push. The force type, we're going to keep it as radial, although you can make it directional, and I'll actually speak more about that in a second. So that looks good. Now we're going to find a button for this to be, and in my mind a kick is triangle. Triangle is a good kick button. So let's try this out. Let's go ahead and play, and I'll press triangle. Boom! Oh, yo, that's good. Boom! That's a nice kick. And you can see if we tilt it a bit, Do. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, so that's your super kick. If that's all you want to know, then go for it. That's your vid. But I just want to add a few extra things into this to just make the force apply a bit more funky if you want to make your kick a bit more interesting. So what you can do is you can make your force type directional, and you can sort of make it so that when you kick stuff, they go off in like a particular direction, so that they go like a little bit off to the side, as if you're kicking it from the side. So let's check it out now. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Boom! So they're kicking, it's almost mimicking the swing of your leg. And that makes it a lot more interesting than just having like a straight up, straightforward blast. But really, whatever works for you, friends. Alrighty, thank you so much for sticking with me, Mean Lad. And I hope you enjoyed the video. And I'll catch you guys in the flip-flop. Peace out!